Hello.
Hi, everyone.
We trust everyone has had a wonderful break and wanted to share some information about getting ready for the go back to school.
Can you believe we're already talking about back to school?
Yeah.
It's exciting and nerve-wracking and all the things. Lucky for us, we have the beautiful Young Living products and oils and all those good fun things to support every person involved in going back to school and every level of going back to school, whether it's first day of daycare or last first day or first day or anything in between.
We're going to start at the youngest. And when you're watching this, you can see the automatic chapters down below. So if that's not relevant for you, you can just skip through. So um, let's go with daycare. Do you want
Yes. So, a big one for me for daycare is sun cream. I really love, used to love, I don't have any daycare anymore, but the sun cream that they have at daycare is not my favorite and it permeates the smell of everything. So I love just popping a little Young Living mineral sun cream in their daycare bag. And that's really good for, all the sun safety policies. I don't know if you know it or not, but it's really nourishing for the skin as well as a barrier for sun. So Cress is a skin queen. She can elaborate on that. But yeah, it's really good.
My hot tip for that would be because they don't like it when you give them something different. So it is approved by the TGA, which means that it gets through in that regard. And I can just say here, I was going to say, your child has allergies, has skin allergies, and therefore needs these products, right? That's how you get around it. My son actually did have allergies, so that was how I did get around it. But usually they have to leave the sunscreen at school now. And also, most or many childcares that I've heard of now have a insect repellent requirement as well, which cannot be homemade. So therefore, Outdoor Blend is your best friend. It is so beautiful on the skin, and yes, it's
So
amazing.
critters too. Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely those two are a win. And I was going to say, it's I found that I even had the daycare people asking me, like, so we gave sunscreen for Christmas presents actually because they loved it so much. Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
The other thing I like to have around for daycare, and granted they're smaller, but all going back to school really is inner defense in the fridge, just in case. Now, if your child is not of the age of swallowing a capsule, you can just boil a needle and pierce the bottom of the capsule and rub it on their feet if the sniffles and things like that arise. Um, and then I guess diffusing thieves around that time of going back just for a few days, or generally the first week, just to support their immune systems as they're going into that environment with lots of other little people where the hand
we,
hygiene that aren't so
yeah, kids are gross in the most beautiful way. I said that somewhere earlier. I think too, really being mindful that as one thing is it's important for your kids to get sick because it primes the immune system to know how to behave. So try and give yourself a bit of space when you're like, oh my gosh, they're sick again. But also too is yeah, really using those oils for supporting immune system. Maybe you can even make a game of putting oils on before they go in. So if they like rub them into their hands, then they've got oils on their hands as well. Um, I was feeling when you were talking to about obviously kids that are a bit nervous. So kid power, kid power, kid power. Have to go with kid power. I reckon it's one of my favorite. It's supposed to be valor for children, but it's everything for adults.
yes. I forget about Kid Power. That's a staple in my handbag.
Yeah. Um,
Um, yeah, really good. And Peace and Calming's handy to have on hand. It's in the starter bundle, but it's really nice to diffuse when they get home, or even pop on you in the morning if you need it or they need it. But I find quite often around that sort of 5 o'clock, well, you could call it, someone called it witching hour, someone called it arsenic hour. The time where everybody's a bit excited. It's really nourishing to pop that in the diffuser and just let the gentle calm settle over the home too.
And I think you're holding a Ningxia sachet there. So I think we would say,
I really, I actually want to drink it, but I don't know if that.
well, let's talk about it first, then you can drink it.
Yes. So,
But Ningxia for everyone, right? Because the parents get sick as well, the siblings get sick, like everyone gets sick who's got, it happens.
yeah, it just spreads through. So these probably, I don't know that I'd give it for toddlers' lunchbox. I'd probably just give them Ningxia at home. But this primary school, this has been a staple through all our years. I either put them in the freezer and throw them in as a kind of ice brick as well, or they just come, as I'm packing the lunchbox, or we just grab one of those and chuck them in. So always Ningxia. And towards the end of last year, they were grabbing 2 or 3 because their friends were really liking it as well. So not only is it antioxidant rich, which means mops up free radicals, so supports your general well-being, it's chock full of nutrient dense goodness as well. So it's win-win, and it's kind of sweet tasting. So kids think it's a real treat.
I was going to share something there. I was just going to say also too that if you are new to daycare and like this is a new transition for you and you don't have, like, we've got older kids, right? But I found a wind down routine was really helpful. Just a little bit like when they're babies, go back to like that routine at nighttime, and it can be very challenging for those of us that are working and all that kind of stuff to make the space for that, but it will make your life easier if you can kind of revert back a few steps. It just sort of helps to ease that transition, I think, as well.
Yep. And so on top of that, I would probably add lavender and seedlings calm for bedtime. If you don't have oils yet, just get the starter bundle because it's got so many beautiful calming oils in it. But if you want to add to your collection, seedlings calm is so good for evening wind down as well.
And if you've got any like specific questions on this, either like drop it in the comments or reach out to us in our community and we can help you with it. We might move up to primary school. So some of them will be the same, right?
Yeah. All of what we mentioned for the reasons we did. And I think nerves are probably more prominent, particularly through our house they were for primary. So we love Valor. One of ours loves Peppermint, and yeah, they're probably the 2 picks from our household. What about you guys, Chris?
Well, I guess so. Just to recap, in case they did skip that first section, because we said that is the sunscreen. Your child has an allergy, so can't use the soap and the sunscreen at school. Get it? I can't even wink properly. If you probably don't at school have to take though camp, often you need a insect repellent, so outdoor blend. We spoke about using Ningxia to really like support them putting it in their lunchbox, also supporting the family around these transitions because there's just different bugs coming into your home. So when your kids go back to school, when they're all getting tired at the end of the term, really ramp up your just natural immune support. We spoke about inner defense in your fridge all the time, just in case. We have it always here, but I used to just have 1 bottle. And because there's 5 of us, if someone goes down and then all of us take it, 1 bottle doesn't go very far, and it sometimes goes out of stock in winter. So I like to get in ahead of the cold and flu time of year and make sure I've got kind of 5 or 6 bottles so that we don't run out. So let's not all do that at the same time because I haven't restocked. So you guys will just wait a minute while I do it. Kidding.
And also you can just create a little list from what we say here and gradually, order things that are useful as well. Don't feel like you've got to go get it all at once if that doesn't align for you either.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're right. The other one I was going to say for primary school is for homework, we really loved peppermint in the diffuser in the afternoon. And peppermint was also a beautiful 3 p.m. pick-me-up for moi after you work flat out all day and then buzzing up to grab them. A little peppy lick, so a drop on the hand and just lick it is really, really invigorating.
I've obviously got vetiver here. So vetiver has been studied for use with ADHD, which I have and others in my family do. And so I actually keep that to put it on the brain stem. And one of the things I love about it actually is the smell lasts a really long time. Like with other oils, often it evaporates more quickly, but because this is so thick. So vetiver is really helpful. If it's hard to get out of the bottle and that annoys you, put it in your pocket for a little bit, or in the warmer weather, usually it's fine. And when you spoke about nerves. I was also thinking about again, a bit of a nighttime routine is like you just go back till they're babies, like really at every stage. And the other thing I was thinking is about girls and maybe getting their cycle starting. I'm not sure, like, depending on what year that happens and whether we can talk about some supportive things for that too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to say something? Sorry. We did not prepare this talk beforehand. Can you tell? We're just talking.
No, that's all right. Talking. The other thing, did you want me to talk specifically about cycle now, or I'm just going to go sideways for a second? Support yourselves as parents and carers of these little cherubs too. I am a feeler. I am very emotional, and the first day is big. My baby's starting high school this year, so yeah. So I will be smothering myself in valor and joy on that day because yeah, I feel it all too, and probably a lot more, and I'll probably drive out of the gate bawling, but that's okay. I'm just a human who feels my emotions. So I always bring it back to the starter bundle because I love all those oils so much, but Stress Away is in there, which is beautiful. Frankincense is in there, which is always going on the crown of my head. Peace and Calming's in there, and Valor is in there. Joy is not, but I always have that with me because it is just such a beautiful oil for emotional support, I find. And then moving across to girls and their cycle.
Girls and their cycle. So I won't say that because I have heard, I don't want to reveal things. I've heard that sometimes in the period leading up to girls getting their, like actually starting their bleed, is there can be some intense emotional feelings. And so, whoa, how good are oils at helping with that? Just helping to, I was going to say diffuse there, which is funny, but often, I wouldn't want to say the words often. Oh, it's raining on me.
Oh.
My Zoom is raining on me. It can be sometimes that said person doesn't want to use oils themselves at this time, but they can't stop you diffusing in your car or house or putting them all over your body. Yeah, just a little side tip there.
Yeah, that's so true. So you can be the human diffuser if your child is not aligned necessarily with that, and that's okay too.
Or
and I
use, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Are there any oils? Just trying to think. I suppose it's emotional support again there more than anything, isn't it? So whatever you feel drawn to for that.
And I think both of us would probably say that some niggles with your menstrual cycle are normal, like when it's first starting. But if there is pain or something that feels really off, please get proper holistic attention, because that is a sign that your body's not happy or one's body is not happy. There are lots of things that we can do to, suggest or, or direct you to some people who would be amazing in this regard. And I know Kerry's got a whole host of Ayurvedic and other ways to help with that, but maybe that's probably for a different pick. But yeah, but obviously there's Dragon Time, which is great in the lead up period, in the lead up to the bleed. There's lots of things that you can do to support.
Yeah, Peace and Calming's another one too. It's really.
And actually someone the other day told me their daughter just loves peppermint on their abdomen.
Yeah. I lean towards lavender sometimes too, just the old favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's primary. Is there anything else we need to think of for primary? You covered camp, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think also having the oils out and using them yourself. Often if I do that, the children are more interested to sort of curious, I guess, and they see them. So it encourages them to use them a little bit more. So have them out and about rather than necessarily tucked away.
I was going to say one of the ones that my children use the most actually is Digize or Tummy Jize. So, or peppermint for headaches, but they will really just go to that immediately. And I love that, even though one of my sons really hates the taste of it, but he knows, because from my experience, that if he puts it under his tongue when he has a really bad stomach ache, 10 minutes later or even less, it's gone. And so he says to me literally, wow, that stuff is magic. And he hates it, but he does it anyway because it's so magic. It like works so quickly. So yeah, I guess probably, letting them know there are these options. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes also, if you've got a child, just starting school, I think back to the early practice, and there was that
Your face just disappeared, by the way.
the nerves and possibly the separation anxiety and things like that. You can also make up a little roller and pop it in their pocket or their pencil case, or put a drop of oil on like a hanky or the collar of their shirt or something. And sometimes that can help support them a lot more than you realize as well. Or making a little ritual together, come and let's pick an oil, and when you smell this, you'll know that you're going to be okay, and it's 3 o'clock, we'll see you again, and do lots of fun things and different things today, and use your imagination, I guess.
So I guess high school, and I don't really want to recap again because we've already said it twice. So say if you want to know all the basics, you do actually have to go back. Sorry about that. Yeah. The first one that comes to mind for me is obviously for study, using oils for study, because my daughter is at uni now, but did the HSC a couple of years ago. So using an oil that you don't use for other things. So an oil they like. So I'm going to say, let's say it's rosemary, and you don't use rosemary usually around the house, and then they use it when they're studying for something, and then use it during the exam. And so that's been shown, and I can't remember the exact statistics, but it really increases the recall because you're incorporating another scent. But it works better if the oil is not like a regular fragrance that they use all the time. Ooh, and now a lot of girls tend to use rosemary in their hair, in their scalp treatment. So maybe rosemary is not the one, but that's the theory anyway. And it doesn't matter what the oil is actually. It is just about the smell. That's what this research has been done on. But then also you could go for an oil that helps with brain sharpness.
And Young Living has a blend called Brain Power, which is amazing. But there are also many other recipes, and I guess it's personal choice. But one of our favorites, funny you mentioned rosemary, is orange and rosemary in the diffuser.
Yeah.
Peppermint has a pretty good name for focus and concentration. Lemon's nice and fresh, and they're kind of our there's the Get Things Done blend, which is peppermint, frankincense, and lemon as well. Lots of people really love that blend. So
that's exactly what I was thinking of. I was going to ask if you knew
it. That's again back to starter bundle oils, but they're just so good. So good to. And then there's like Brain Power and Believe, and all those other crazy blends like Transformation. Lots of really good blends as well, but you work out what you like, I guess, and mix and match according to that. But having the diffuser on, if the tension starts to build when there's a lot of homework and things like that, and you feel like a bit like there's not a lot you can do to support, just pop the diffuser on, slide it in the door, or even somewhere nearby, and waft the oils in there, and watch the energy change. Again, Ningxia for high school. My high schooler loves throwing it in their sports bag or lunchbox. Really good for after school sport and things like that. You can drop, if they're not so into oils in high school, you can drop them in their shoes, put a drop in their shoes. They still put their feet in there, and they're none the wiser.
The undie trick.
Hey?
The undie trick.
Oh, the undie trick, yes. Sprinkle oils in their undies drawer.
Yeah. If you're doing the washing, you can put oils wherever you want.
The laundry.
All of you that your teens are doing the washing instead.
And then the good thing for the older kids is they can swallow those inner defense capsules pretty easily. The other one that I didn't think of till just now, but I often will encourage / almost enforce, is mineral essence at the start of the school year, going back into it too, just as a little bit of extra nutritional support. I really like that.
And I guess probably at this point we should say there are also we wanted to give you like the basics, but there are lots of additional things you could do. There's an incredible new B vitamin supplement. I don't know what you call it. There is, there's the green omegas. So for your
Yeah.
brain health, yeah, there's lots of things that Illumina is amazing for supporting eyes when you're doing all that computer work.
Yeah.
There's all the things for when if there are lots of sport that they're doing. There is so much.
The protein powder, which is really good for protein.
It's actually really nice. I like the vanilla one.
I haven't tried it, to be honest, but I know you always speak about it, and so does someone. Yeah. So lots of options.
And then also there's deodorant when they start needing that. There's the skincare, there's all of the things, like everything is available there. So they can get the non-crappy stuff. And I personally would say to you, pick your battles about what is the thing that you want to go hard on, because none of us is perfect. And I don't know about you guys, but I certainly did a lot of stuff when I was younger that I would absolutely not do now. And I'm still here and healthy and all of the things. So
yes, wise words. But if you have any questions, reach out to us. If you don't have oils yet and you've stumbled across this by chance, also reach out to us. We can fill you in on how amazing they are and why you would choose Young Living oils over others, because all oils are not created equally. And that starter bundle that we keep referring to is absolutely probably the most economic and most comprehensive way to really sink your teeth into a really beautiful initiation to oils, because there's 12 oils in that kit that really support all the bodily systems and support well-being. So whole well-being. The words are failing me, but it's a sort of all systems of the body. So there's things for emotions and physical health and mental health and all those sorts of things. And you get a diffuser and some Nixia sachets, and it's such a really beautiful way to start. So if you want more information on that, reach out to us as well.
I don't know why, but I feel compelled to say also the wellness kit, if people really want to look at supporting their health with oils. It's got a little booklet with all of the information in there. It's not the most cost-effective way to start, but it is the coolest, cutest, most holistic little wellness kit that you'll get your hands on, I reckon.
Yeah, that's good too. Mm-hmm.
That's it. The wrap.
Have a great back to school. Wishing you all strength and courage and all the things you need. And I'm sure it will be just perfect for your family and your people. And most of all, enjoy it. You get to create memories and new experiences and embrace it all.
And use your oils.
Use your oils.